Yo, what is going on, you guys? This is Gaming with Sal and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I want to go ahead and talk about one thing, and that is headshots. So I know that on the channel, I don't really do a lot of tips and tricks videos, and I honestly don't know if I should go ahead and start doing that for Black Ops 4, especially when it comes to the multiplayer and Blackout. But at the moment, I wanted to do this for headshots because I already unlocked the diamond camo for the assault rifles in Black Ops 4. And I know that doesn't really sound impressive, especially because there are a lot of people out there who have already done the same thing or have even gotten something crazy like dark matter after like 3 days of the game only coming out. So yeah, I know it doesn't sound as impressive, but you got to consider the fact that I'm not like one of those other YouTubers out there who get to play this game as a living or be able to do YouTube for a living. I still go to school, I still have a daytime job that I have to go to. So when it comes down to it, I don't really get to put as much hours into the game, yet I was able to get diamond camo for all the assault rifles only a week and a half after this game has come out. So to me, that's still impressive, and that kind of applies to a lot of you who are probably watching this video where you don't really have much time to put into the game, and I understand that completely. But with the tips and tricks that I'm about to teach you guys on how to get these headshots a little bit more easily, you can go ahead and start your journey to get diamond camo or even the dark matter camo for all your weapons. So let's go ahead and dive into the first tip of this video, and that is to play hardcore. Now, before I go ahead into any more of this, I want to go ahead and warn you guys, I am not just going to tell you guys to play hardcore and then call it a day. I know a lot of other YouTubers have done that, and not calling them out or anything because I'm sure they're all great YouTubers, but most of the videos I've seen that people have done over how to get headshots quicker, all they've pretty much done is just tell their viewers to play hardcore and not really go into too much depth with anything else. So yeah, I don't want to do that for this video, but I will start off with the fact that, you know what, they're right, hardcore is a good place to get headshots, only because I think there's only 30 health whenever it comes to hardcore, and that is going to help tremendously because if you can already pre-aim or aim somewhere close to the head and just shoot them once in the head, you will get that headshot guaranteed. So in a way, there's not really much more to say about hardcore. It's a good place to go ahead and get those kills faster, or in other words, get those headshots much more quicker. So if you guys want to go ahead and try to get these camos and these challenges done much more quickly, then I suggest playing hardcore. Now, if you're someone who doesn't like hardcore and have tried hardcore out, but it's just not your cup of tea and you just don't like the low health and like the high damage, I don't know, whatever the case might be, there's still tips that I have for you guys that can really help a lot. Now, one of those tips is to use the correct specialist. Now, there's two specialists that I believe are going to be the most helpful for you to get headshots much more easily, and those specialists are Ajax and Recon. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Recon real quick. He is someone where whenever you hear his name, you're like, you know what, it kind of makes sense to why he would help a player get headshots more easily, just because of the fact that his vision pulse and his sensor dart both reveal enemies on your minimap and on your screen, to where you can go ahead and kind of pre-aim your weapon, get ready for them to come towards you, and aim it in a way where you're like, you know what, I know exactly where their head's going to be at, so you know exactly when to shoot, where to shoot, because you know exactly where they're coming from. So yeah, Recon seems pretty obvious to why he should be the choice of your specialist whenever it comes to going after headshots. But Ajax might be someone where you're like, what? Why should we use Ajax? What is he gonna do? And it's only because of his equipment. Forget the riot shield and like the gun that you get with it. It's all about that concussion grenade. The 9-bang grenade is something that completely stuns the enemy to the point where they can't do anything or see anything. So obviously, since it's a concussion grenade, it's going to be able to distort their vision. And I know it's just a concussion grenade and not a flash grenade, but it literally has the effect of a flash grenade to the point where you really can't see anything that's going on when you get hit by it. Not to mention, at the same time, your player, whenever it gets hit by a 9-bang grenade, puts his right hand up in the air over his face as if he's like trying to look away from something that's really bright and can't do anything else. Like literally, your specialist can't crouch, can't reload, can't run away. They can just sort of like strafe and walk around, but that's pretty much all they can do when they get hit by a 9-bang grenade. Now suppose you're the one who threw that 9-bang grenade and you threw it at an enemy, or even like a group of enemies, like maybe 2 or 3, 4 enemies at the same time. You can go in there and just start picking them off by shooting straight at their head and get all those headshots and rack them up in every single game. Because like I said, you guys, when it comes to the 9-bang grenade, they're completely vulnerable and they can't even see where you're coming from, and that's the perfect opportunity for you to jump in and get those headshots. On top of that, you can also go ahead and use the equipment charge gear within your create a class system, which I personally haven't done, but now that I'm thinking about it, you can go ahead and use that gear, and what that's going to do is that it's going to start charging up your equipment much more faster, which means the 9-bang grenade will cool down much more quickly, letting you use it over and over again within every single game and get those headshots from vulnerable enemies. So yeah, I feel like that Recon and Ajax are the perfect specialists to use whenever it comes to trying to get headshots much more quickly. And the final tip that I have for you guys is to be using the sights that are available for your weapons. For example, the holographic sights, the 2x sights, whatever sights you have that's available for your weapon that zooms in on the enemy, definitely use that when going for headshots. Now, the reason why is because whenever you're going for headshots and you're in a gunfight, you're probably in a situation where you're aiming close to the head and you pick them off and you're like, oh, I got that headshot. But when you look into the kill feed, you're like, wait, it doesn't show the headshot symbol. I swear I shot him in the head. Chances are it could actually be the 20 or 30 hertz that we have for the multiplayer right now that's messing up on you. But at the same time, it could also be the fact that you thought you were close to the head, but you really actually weren't, because you couldn't see all that well, since the default sight that you have on your weapon isn't as large as some of like the other sights, like the holographic or the 2x sights. But the point is that whenever you use a sight such as the holographic or 2x sight or whatever it might be that helps you zoom in more on the enemy, you can go ahead and pre-aim your weapon, or maybe aim down your weapon in a certain area where you think their head is going to be at, and when you do, you have a much more clearer vision exactly where your sight is lined up. Maybe you're trying to go ahead and shoot them in the head, but you're actually just aiming at like their upper chest area, and you can see that much more clearly since you're zoomed in on them more, and then you can go ahead and start aiming your weapon up a little bit higher and try to pick them off right on their head. Or if you're someone who's like not that great at aiming and just is an average player and you're like, man, I really don't know how I can aim better to be able to get those headshots. Well, guess what? When you're playing core and not hardcore, you have 150 health. That is more health than any other Call of Duty has come out with for their multiplayer, which means that even if you start shooting them in the chest, you can quickly start to move a little bit higher up on their body until you can finally get that last shot to hit their head and get that headshot medal. So in a way, core is actually very useful in the sense that if you're not a great aimer, I guess if that's what you want to call it, then you can actually try to go ahead and aim somewhere close to the head and then start moving along towards wherever the head actually is from wherever you started off aiming at. So that's something that can tremendously help you, and the only way you can do that is to use a sight that helps you zoom in more closely on the enemy's head. So there you have it. Those are my top 3 tips that I have for you guys to be able to get the headshots in this game a little bit more easily. Now remember that these tips are probably not going to help everybody, because whenever it comes to playing COD and just making the choices that we do whenever we play this game, a lot of people have a lot of different play styles. So who knows, maybe these tips probably don't fit your play style. Maybe you have other ways to go out there and get headshots more easily, and if you do, I would love to hear those in the comment section below. Maybe we can go ahead and get a couple of more ideas within this video through the comment section and be able to help everyone out get these headshots a little bit more easily. So yeah, that's just my opinion on the tips that I'm giving you guys. It might work, it might not work, but this is what helped me personally to get my diamond camo, and hopefully I can get dark matter real soon and showcase it on this channel. But for now, that's all I have for you guys in this video. So if you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, click the bell icon so you'll never miss an upload, and follow me on my social media accounts to stay connected. Links will always be in the description below, and let me know if I should do more tips and tricks videos on this channel. But as always, I'll go ahead and talk to you guys in the next one. So take care of yourselves, and bye.